Good afternoon and welcome. This is KBC Channel 1 Lunchtime News. My name is Victor Moyakane. We have quite a lot in store for you. Please join us for the next half hour as we bring you up to date with all the latest news happening across your country. Now, straight away, the Kiambu County Government will henceforth be required to establish dump sites in every sub-county in the region. This follows the passage of a motion by members of the County Assembly following hue and cry from the public, of course, over health hazards posed by sprawling dump sites in the area.
This dump site has been an eyesore to the residents of Kiambu County. 3 other garbage dumps nearby are not any better. Situated in the heart of Kiambu Township, the sprawling waste yards have turned toxic, threatening the lives of residents. State of affairs prompting swift action from area leadership. Ward representatives at Kiambu County Assembly tabled a motion seeking establishment of dump sites in 12 sub-counties.
I'm from the Kiambu sub-county, and in particular my ward, which is Kiambu Township Ward, has the dump site which is now used to dispose all the solid waste from the upper Kiambu, which is called the Kyoto dump site. Mr. Speaker, I am disturbed because Kyoto dump site is already filled up.
The motion was unanimously passed Wednesday, effectively compelling the county government to implement the decision.
In every sub-county, in order to address the challenge of inadequate disposal sites in the county. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye? As many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
I've been a victim in my ward. It is where all the garbages were being dumped in my ward. It was hell. It was just a bad thing.
From here, we will now seek, what the motion seeks to do is to compel the CC environment to go for the established dump site, to actually go to the ground and make sure in every sub-county we either buy or within the government existing land, we establish a dump site.
The County Environment Committee has been tasked to follow up the matter. Eric Biegon reporting for Channel 1 News.
Opposition leader Raila Odinga is now urging the government to prioritize cancer management and treatment in the country, saying that the bane is taking its toll on productive Kenyans. Speaking when he visited the Lee Funeral Home to pay tribute to the late Migori County Senator Ben Oluwachekello, Raila said that by investing in cancer management, many lives would be saved at an early stage. He described the late senator as a dedicated people's servant and a true patriot who always preached peace. Meanwhile, a funeral committee for the late senator has been put in place.
It is also unfortunate that he lost his life through this scourge of cancer. Cancer has now become one of the biggest killers in our country. It is contributing to a very high percentage of deaths in this country. And it is something that we need to find ways and means of managing cancer. Ben came to see me some weeks ago when he was really in pain that time before he went back to India. But he fought this battle bravely and he's died as a brave warrior.
Ben was a very peaceful man. Even the campaigns we carried out together, he was a very, very good peace advocate. So I shall dearly miss him.
President Uhuru Kenyatta is expected to attend an Intergovernmental Authority on Development, that is IGAD, meeting meant to take stock of the security and political stability in South Sudan. This comes amidst renewed efforts to bring the warring factions pitting President Salva Kiir and Riek Machar against each other, and to bring them together for that matter. Both were poised to meet in Addis Ababa today to negotiate a deal that would see an end to the civil war that has since plagued the country after breaking out in 2013. President Kenyatta is IGAD's special rapporteur for South Sudan.
Wa Addis Ababa na atakuwa anaungana nao katika kuweka utaratibu na mashauriano kuhusiana na swala zima la usalama katika eneo hilo la Sudan Kusini. Na kama unavyofahamu ni kwamba usalama katika eneo hili bila shaka italeta maendeleo mema katika eneo hili na bila shaka katika taifa letu.
Now, Kenya has repatriated a total of 254,811 refugees to Somalia since 2013. According to a report released by the United Nations High Commission on Refugees to mark the World Refugee Day, the repatriation was done mainly through airlifting owing to the poor roads and insecurity posed by the Al-Shabaab militia.
As Kenyans join the rest of the world in marking World Refugee Day Wednesday, calls for tolerance, support and humanitarian assistance to families who have fled their countries resonated in Garissa County. The United Nations High Commission on Refugees says a total of 254,811 refugees have voluntarily been repatriated since 2013 following a tripartite agreement between Kenya, Somalia and United Nations High Commission on Refugees.
To date, we have organized the repatriation of 76,000 people from Dadaab, but at Kenya level, the total number now stands at 80,000 people. That number doesn't correspond to the total number of people who left Dadaab. Back in 2011, there was 463,427 individuals. To date, we still have only 207,000, which means that 255,000 have gone back by their own, as we are not promoting yet the repatriation. We are only facilitating.
According to the report released, the population of asylum seekers in Kenya declined from 553,900 to 451,100 in 2016, accounting for nearly 20%.
There is no pressure on refugees, and those who have not made their mind yet are allowed to stay peacefully and quietly in the camps.
Speaking during Refugee Market Day in the Dadaab town, head of operations in the UNHCR Dadaab office, Jean Bosco, noted that 4,949 non-Somali refugees have been relocated at Kailobei in Kakuma camp.
Non-Somali refugees from Dadaab to Kalobei was made by the Kenyan government. The decision is frozen for now and for the last 12 months. But it has not been withdrawn yet. We only interrupted the movement, and UNHCR is in permanent contact with the Kenyan government to see how best a durable solution will be found for non-Somali refugees.
The repatriation exercise has, however, faced a number of challenges. However, refugees interviewed say they are reluctant to return back to their countries, citing lack of crucial amenities such as proper healthcare and education, in addition to insecurity.
Hapa kuhusu mambo ya masomo, watoto wanasoma vizuri na hali yake ni nzuri, sio kama Somalia. Somalia si kuzuri, vita, hakuna masomo, hakuna nini, watoto wanasumbuka na sisi tunasumbuka. Tumeamua tu tujikalie tu hapa, tutarudi tena Somalia. Sitaki tena kurudi Somalia. Maisha hapa ndio maana zote tangu wanajisomea na mimi nimekaa vizuri, namshukuru Mungu.
It's there, but the situation on the ground does not allow me to go there. But inshallah, one day I will go back to South Sudan.
Similar sentiments were shared by Muhammad Abdi, an officer working with Refugees Education Trust. 50% of the current population of 280,616 in the Dadaab refugee complex do small businesses to supplement rations from the UNHCR.
Auza, yani nyanya, kila kitu, biringanya, na maboga na miwa, kila kitu. Ndio tunapata pesa inatusaidia. Tunapata pesa kupelekea watoto chuo na kimatumizi. Tunashukuru Mungu imetuendelea reti.
Linus Moshigadi for Channel 1 News.
8 people have died after a matatu they were traveling in was involved in an accident at Elementaita area on the Gilgil-Nakuru highway. Police confirmed the incident, citing a tire burst as the cause of the crash. Survivors were treated at the Nakuru Level 5 hospital. In the incident that occurred at around 7 p.m. on Tuesday, 2 people died on the spot, while 5 others were pronounced dead on arrival at the Nakuru Level 5 hospital, with 1 other patient dying. This is after the driver of the 14-seater matatu headed to Nakuru from Kiptagawanyi lost control following a tire burst which caused the vehicle to roll several times. The accident occurred at the Mzee Wanyama area near Lake Elementaita on the Nakuru-Nairobi highway.
In total, we received 5 dead bodies, the ones who died before arrival to the hospital. On top of that, there were 2 other bodies that had been taken to our neighboring mortuary. As we were managing the rest of the victims, we also lost 1 patient. So in total, we have had 8 losses. In the ward, as we speak, there are 8 patients who are undergoing treatment. These ones, they are very stable, and we are hoping that they recover as soon as possible. On top of that, there were 4 patients who are treated and discharged home. And I think on top of that, there is 1 patient who had no reason to come to the hospital, had very minor injuries, and so did not come to us. So in total, 21 victims were involved.
Incidentally, the passengers were traveling to Nakuru as a group after attending a burial ceremony in Kiptagawanyi area. At the Cabernet Trading Center in Uasin Gishu County, as irate residents attempted to invade local shops suspected to be stocking counterfeit sugar. The protest, of course, coming just hours after police impounded 500 bags of the suspected counterfeit sugar as the war on counterfeits intensifies.
These were the scenes at Cabernet in Uasin Gishu County as irate residents took to the streets protesting the alleged stocking of poisonous sugar in the region. It took the intervention of Area County Commissioner Augustine Njumbi to contain the irate crowd, which was planning to set ablaze the bags of sugar. Njumbi said they had collected samples which had been taken to the lab for testing as investigations into the origin of the sugar begin.
Operation inaendelea. We are not going about to stop. Waturali sasa ni kuendelea kutafuta. Ya tusije tukawa wananchi wanaendelea kula vitu mbaya ambayo inaweza kuleta.
And police in Kajiado County have arrested 4 people and impounded more than 100 bags of suspected counterfeit sugar, cooking fat and rice believed to be harmful for consumption. The officers raided stores in Kitengela, Kajiado, Iblis and Namanga towns where they recovered illegal sugar, hundreds of jerrycans of cooking oil and more than 300 bags of rice suspected to have been imported illegally. Kajiado County Commissioner David Kipkemei called for vigilance at the border points.
So I want to appeal to you members of the public. All of us are not safe, including even the scrupulous importers.
Separately in Nakuru County, security agencies working on a tip-off from members of public impounded 1,350 bags of suspected contraband sugar stashed in 50 kgs and sealed off for distribution in a warehouse alleged to belong to a local chain store. Nakuru Town East Deputy County Commissioner Salat Omar said investigations are ongoing to ascertain the origin.
Now, in the corridors of justice, former Lugari Member of Parliament Cyrus Jirongo has moved to court seeking legal redress over the alleged forced occupation of his estate in Eldoret by an elderly woman who's claiming ownership of the same property. Separately, Eldoret resident magistrate Diana Milimo has ordered a man to bury his alleged ex-wife and foot the medical and burial expenses. The man had declined to bury the woman, claiming that at the time of her death, they were divorced and she was living with another man.
For the past 2 months, the body of Florence Nasimiu Chai has been preserved at the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital mortuary after her alleged ex-husband refused to foot the bills for her burial. In his defense, the 30-year-old medical superintendent at the Webuye Sub-County Hospital argued that the deceased was already married to another man at the time of her death. Despite his appeal, Eldoret resident magistrate Diana Milimo, however, ordered the accused to make plans for the immediate burial of the deceased, further demanding he settles all outstanding mortuary and medical bills.
Having found the deceased Florence Nasimiu Chai was lawfully married to the defendant herein at the time of her demise, he is directed to collect her remains from Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital mortuary and bury the body at their matrimonial home in Tongaren, where the defendant...
In other news, the Kiriaine Mission Hospital is seeking partnership with the county government of Murang'a and well-wishers in a bid to elevate it to a level 5 medical facility. The hospital is the only medical facility, I must say, in Madhyoya constituency, and also serves patients from neighboring Othaya and Kangema constituencies.
If the government really was to come in and work with the management of this facility so that we can try to uplift it to a higher level, and if it is possible, make it even a referral hospital around this region.
Our mothers, our fathers at home are suffering because we are not committed. We are not looking at the basic needs. And the basic need number one would be health. Where does my mom go for hospital? How is that hospital? Do I ask myself such questions?
In other news, a section of employees at the China Gansu International Corporation for Economic and Technical Cooperation located in Ruiru have raised concern over what they say is exploitation by senior staff. The employees, who staged demonstrations at the facility to express their displeasure, claimed that some senior male employees were sexually exploiting those seeking employment at the organization.
This was the scene at China Gansu International Corporation for Economic and Technical Cooperation in Ruiru. The employees taking to the streets in protest of what they say are recurring cases of sexual exploitation by senior staff at the organization.
Wakipea mwanamke hii rora paka walale na yeye. Hizo marora zilikuwa na wanawake, siku hizi ni vijana. Ukikozea tu kidogo, ukilala na yeye, kesho go go go.
The employees who paralyzed operations at the facility calling for merit-based employment opportunities at the organization.
Sisi tumeanzia hapa kazi kutoka ile siku hapa ilianza. Sasa ile waliona sisi tumeanza kuwachanuka, wakaanza kutudhurumu. Sisi hata tulikuwa napewa kazi zingine, sasa wakiona ati ni kama unakataa, wanataka kufuta kazi.
In its defense, the organization's management dismissed the allegation, saying it upholds the highest ideals even as it promised to investigate the issues raised. For Channel 1 Lunchtime News, I'm Jackie Wambiru.
Has pulled out of the United Nations Human Rights Council, calling it a cesspool of political bias. Formed in 2006, the Geneva-based council has been criticized for allowing countries with questionable human rights records to be members.
U.S. envoy to the UN Nikki Haley announced her country's intention to quit the United Nations Human Rights Council at a joint news conference with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who called the council a poor defender of human rights. The move comes amid intense criticism over the Donald Trump administration's policy of separating child migrants from their parents at the U.S.-Mexico border. U.S. Secretary General Antonio Guterres, in a statement released through his spokesman, responded by saying he would have much preferred the U.S. to remain in the council. The UN Human Rights Commissioner Zeid Ra'ad Al Hussein called the U.S. withdrawal disappointing, if not really surprising news. Meanwhile, Israel has praised the decision. The United States has always had a conflicting relationship with the UN Human Rights Council. The Bush administration decided to boycott the council when it was created in 2006 for many of the same reasons cited by the Trump administration. It wasn't until years later, in 2009, that the United States rejoined the Obama administration.
A Congolese family living in Kenya as refugees is seeking protection following a series of targeted attacks on its members. The latest was an attack on one of the members by a knife-wielding gang as he was returning to his residence in Kiambu after a meeting with officials from the Kituo cha Sheria organization.
Brother, who was then a general in the DRC military, was killed among others who were accused of plotting a coup. Andrew managed to escape with his nephew through Uganda to Kenya, where they were assisted by the United Nations. But they have been living in fear since, with their known persons said to have been threatening them.
Friday mimi nilipigiwa simu kutoka DRC. Nikatishwa kwa simu, nikaambiwa wamejua kwenye niko sahi. Within 1 week mimi nitakuwa mighty.
Andrew says he had received a threatening call last Friday, a threat that appeared to have actualized last evening when he was attacked by unknown assailants.
Kuna watu walikuwa kwa gari, walishuka nyuma yangu, wakaniambia excuse. Ndio niligeuka, wakaniambia wao wamepotea, wanataka kuripoti kwa polisi, kuna watu wakora vitu. So wakati nilikuwa nawapea address ya kwenda kwa polisi, already mmoja alikuja nyuma yangu, alikuwa na kisu.
The attackers who made him believe that they were police officers were to stab him at the back twice.
Mtu fulani akamwambia kuje na gari, wako na mimi already. Na tena akajisema jina yangu. So mwingine naye akatoa pingu, akataka kuniweka. So ndio niliona heli nipelekwe hata nikufe. Nikaamua kama mwanaume nitangangana nijitoa hapo. Lakini ilikuwa ngumu, sikuweza kujitoa hapo. Wakati nilijaribu kutoka, ndio nilitaka kukimbia, akanidunga kisu.
The latest incident happening just a fortnight after her sister was attacked in the city's Kasarani area while she was in company of her workmates. The family now asking for protection from the government, even as they accused the United Nations of abandoning them at the hour of need.
Fired rockets and mortars into Israeli territory. These strikes followed weeks of confrontation along the Gaza border, with the health ministry saying that 120 Palestinians have been over the last 3 months.
The Israeli military says that Hamas targets, including a number of bases, were struck in 3 rounds of strikes overnight. The military said Iron Dome missile defense system intercepted 7 rockets fired by militants, while kites carrying containers of burning fuel were also sent into Israel. More than 120 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli forces and thousands more wounded since a protest campaign began on 30th March. The demonstrations have seen thousands of Palestinians mass on the border in support of the declared right of Palestinian refugees to return to their ancestral homes in what is now Israel. Human rights groups have accused Israel troops of using excessive force. Gaza, an impoverished enclave of some 2 million residents, has long been blockaded by Israel and Egypt. The blockade was tightened after Hamas, an Islamist group that won Palestinian elections in 2006, hosted secular Fatah rivals from Gaza last year. Brenda Gitonga, Lunchtime News.